And then at the end, we're going to break out into small group sessions around specific topics. And I'll guide us through how we do that here at the end. The master plan, to remind you, this is the existing grade configuration. We're sitting in your K6 here at Mills Lawn, and the middle high school today is a 712. Master plan involves renovating this building into a pre-K to 4. And as a result of doing that, as a result of moving 5th and 6th graders out, we're able to take the modular offline and free up some space internally in this building to address some space needs. And then over at the middle school, high school site, we'll add 5th and 6th grade there, and that'll be a 512 building. First project up, Mills Lawn, is what we call a renovation. And a renovation basically means when you drive past Mills Lawn when we're done, other than maybe some new windows, it's going to look like Mills Lawn, right? They're keeping the structure, but we're just making improvements to systems, finishes, and we'll get into that. So this is the existing floor plan. We are here in the gym. Today, this is a K1 wing, 3rd grade in the middle, and then grades 4, 5, and 6 in the wing on the west. When 5 and 6th grade moves out, we have the opportunity to expand and pick up some additional space. So this is the proposed layout for the pre-K 4. We come in off of the entry into a new secure vestibule and a renovated office space. We have some pre-K rooms, a pair of K classrooms, a pair of 1s, and some special ed, some flex space. And then the deep blue represents what we call deep renovation, which will be a full gut and renovation of those large group restrooms. Moving down the hall, we've got a reading center, a centralized teacher workroom, gym and stage, kitchen mechanical will stay where they are today. Then we have music, intervention specialists, and this becomes a 2 to 4 wing. So a pair of 2nd grade classrooms, 3rd grade classrooms, 4th grade classrooms, STEM space, library, and art. So this building will have envelope improvements, roof replacement or roof restoration, window replacement, masonry tuck pointing on the outside. On the inside, all new systems, new mechanical, electrical, plumbing, new technology, new finishes, new furniture. And so that's kind of the scope of the renovation here. Next up, let's talk about the 512. This is what we call a demo reno add. So demo is short for demolition. We're going to demolish portions of that existing building. Reno is for renovation, so we're going to renovate portions of that building. And add is for the additions. We're going to do substantial additions to that building. This is an overhead view of the existing site plan for 712. And we will abate and demolish the 3-story tower, the shoebox, and the spaceship. And this is a kind of a conceptual design diagram as we're starting to think about the organization and the opportunities for the site. So the blue represents the area we're going to renovate, and the wings, or kind of the petals below, represent a middle school and a high school, kind of both doing their own thing but connected back to the core and kind of branching out and connected to the outdoors. Because truly the most redeeming aspect of that site is really how beautiful this green space is in the trees. So we want to make connections to that. And then also recognizing we're going to need to do some additions on the north side. So kind of that same diagram detail in a lot more detail. Let's see. I'm going to try my best here. All right, so this is a proposed site plan. So the blue represents the renovated area. So the gymnasium would remain as an Augs gym and an auditorium. 2002 wing would essentially become a STEM wing. There'd be a new main gym built off the north, as well as new locker rooms on the northwest. On the east, there'll be a new front, a new secure vestibule, new office area and band room. And on the south, you see the middle school wing with its extended learning area, connection to the patio. And then you see the 912 high school wing, also with its own extended learning area, access to the outside. In between, at the heart of it, is what will be a student dining room and library. And then there'll be a new kitchen serving that student dining room with service access from the rear. Outdoor activity area needs to be developed because we have the 5th and 6th graders. We have some plans to get them outside in some outdoor spaces. There'll be a new loop where we come in off of College Street, one way in, right side drop off at the entry, and then a one-way out for a right or left turn. We envision visitor parking as well as some staff parking up front, and then a large parking area on the north for students, event spaces, et cetera, as that services the gymnasium. This is the existing floor plan. And here you see the portion of the 1963 building we're going to renovate. And here you see the 2002 addition, which we're going to keep and renovate. And then all the other, the 3-story tower, floors 3, 2, and 1, basement, spaceship, and the shoebox will be removed. This is a proposed floor plan. And I just want to share that we're very early in our process. There's many smart people in this room who we plan to talk to, who we haven't talked to yet. And I'll share with you in a bit what our engagement strategy is to do that. So we are early, and this is kind of a first draft. But in our experience, sometimes it's best to come at least with something on paper to give the community something to react to for input, and we welcome that tonight. This is the plan. There are copies of this around the room. So tonight, if you want to shuffle around and see this in greater detail, you're welcome to do that. But I'll go ahead and just give you an overall kind of a walking tour right now. So this will be the new front office area. That'll be about a 6,000 square foot addition. That'll include a new secure vestibule, principal's offices, conference room, document workroom, and a administrative restroom, as well as the AD's office. We're planning on a new band room here to replace the spaceship. And then the academic wing, let's start with the middle school. We have our 5th and 6th grade classrooms that were currently shown in this location. We have some special ed space, an extended learning area, additional middle school classrooms. We have small group rooms, special ed rooms, some mechanical, a teacher workroom. We have large group restrooms here, which I'll talk more about in a second. And then a middle school art room here, directly connected to the outside. And then on the high school side, we have a high school art room with a kiln and storage. We have high school classrooms. We have special ed room here with a restroom and conference room. High school extended learning area, small group rooms, mechanical, teacher workroom, instructional material storage, and a high school restrooms on this side. And then kind of the knuckle that ties them both together is a space we're really excited about developing with you all is a new student dining room and a new library right at the heart of the knuckle of those wings. Moving along the back, connected to the high school side, we have what we're calling the STEM wing. First up will be actually the kitchen. And then we have science labs, your tech lab, and a couple high school math classrooms. Moving down the way, we are proposing to add a wall in your existing gymnasium and creating a vocal room, choir room, theater classroom at this location, as well as a scene shop. And then with a new wall, this is shown in the auditorium mode. We're considering retractable theater seats. These are in the retracted mode. So in this case, we have an auditorium with 350 seats, utilizing your existing stage. Back of house, we have makeup dressing rooms and restrooms. And then on this side, we have our mechanical restrooms, central storage, custodial's office. And then on the new addition on the north, we have a new high school gym. This is shown in the multi-use mode. So you can set up chairs on the floor, you can set up a stage on one end and hold high school graduations here if you choose. A new fitness room in this corner, 2 new locker rooms with restrooms, 2 restrooms directly accessible to the outside. That'll help track needs, and then a training room. The other mode of that is the AUX gym mode, where with the retracted seats, this can be an auxiliary gym or an elementary gym. We take the current gymnasium and we flip it 90 degrees. We can have the basketball court hoops on either end. Then here you can see the new main gym set up in gym mode with a main court, with a dividing curtain and the ability to run cross courts there as well. A little bit on safety and security. This will be a secure building. Kind of the red line represents doors will be locked. We'll have the ability to close windows with air conditioning systems. So this will be a secure perimeter. We'll have access through a secure entry where this big star is shown. And then other entrances would have access control and card readers. Extended learning areas, I think, is a really nice feature for the middle school and the high school. Also an opportunity for extended learning experiences here. So groups of students working together, working on projects, on presentations, and then beautifully, we think, connected to the outside. So they can have that experience and go outside and have that outdoor experience as well. Restrooms was probably one of the single biggest thing I heard through this whole process of the battles with the restrooms at the high school. So we have, these restrooms are currently existing, those will remain. We'll add a new set of large group restrooms here, servicing the gym and the auditorium. There'll be restrooms off of the new locker rooms, new restrooms for the outdoor track. There'll be a clinic restroom. There'll be a family restroom here for activities. There'll be administrator's restroom here. And then on the new academic side, we're proposing large group single-use restrooms. So these would be shared sinks, but individual restrooms with walls and doors for use of all. So that's one on the middle school side and one on the high school side. Additionally, the teacher workroom, the teachers would have 2 sets of individual restrooms on each side for a total of 4. The schedule is we are designing in earnest now, and we'll continue to do so through this fall. And then construction will occur after that, starting in winter of 24. Currently scheduled through summer of 26, so we're looking at a summer of 26 timeframe to be completed with all projects. And as I shared before, we're just starting this process. So I know I have a really busy calendar meeting with the Performing Arts Committee on the 12th. We have a sustainability eco-charrette scheduled for March 14th. We're going to do a student input session, which I'm really excited about, on the 15th. I'll be attending the Sustainability Committee on the 21st. On the 22nd, we are camping out at the high school for an all-day staff input session. And then we don't have a date yet, but we're thinking Community Forum number 2 will be next month. As this project rapidly develops, we want to come back and check in. And then likely in the early fall, we'll do a Community Forum number 3 and share with you where we're at that time. Okay. Jeff, can you turn on the lights? Actually, keep them off just for a second. Sorry, turn them off, keep them off. We're gonna do some breakout sessions, and I wanna set this up first. We have 7 breakout sessions around the room, so I will be leading this one over here, and that's the planning one we'll talk about. And then Leah, where are you at? Ray, excellent. Leah is by group number 2, Laser Pointer Works. We'll talk about that in a second. And then Mark Richley will be leading the Sustainable Design group, which is back in the corner. And then there'll be a Performing Arts group that'll be led by Dana Hara. Thank you, which will be way back there. And there'll be a physical education athletics group back at this corner led by Danette Wendell. And then there'll be a food service group over here led by Brian Conair. And then Luke Richley, where are you at? He'll be leading the library group right here. And before we break out, I just kind of want to set those up. So for the planning group, and you'll have a chance to go to 3 small groups tonight. So for the planning group, if you have an interest in learning more about how spaces are arranged, how they are, if you have an interest in learning how Mills Lawn in particular is laid out, or questions or input, if you happen to have a question on the middle school, high school, let's say I have a 5th grader and I'm concerned about how the 5th grader is going to interact with 12th graders. These are all great topics for the planning issues, kind of the planning issues for Mills Lawn. If you have any comments on the site, site access, site circulation, parent drop-off, bus loading and unloading, those are awesome inputs for Group 1 planning, which I will lead that. Group 2, which is pretty exciting, is just kind of open book. Tell us about things as we're designing the building we should know about the past of Yellow Springs. You know, something about your history or landmarks or important figures or anything that we should know about your past. Also present, are there local organizations or news or human treasures or anything like that that we should be aware of? And then future, are there any future community initiatives that we should be aware of? We'd love to hear those. Also, just any generic design value. I know we have a lot of design values represented around here, but are there others that you want us to make sure we hear and incorporate? And then community use of space. Yeah, are you involved in a group or organization that would like to use one of these spaces, and which space, and what might you be doing in that? That would be great to hear. So Leah will be facilitating that session. Mark will be doing sustainable design. Do you have any interest in geothermal, solar electric panels, solar thermal panels, integrating that into teaching, daylighting, sustainability, anything around that area? Are you interested in LEED? Mark will be leading that back in the back. Performing arts, I did do a tour, a quick tour, but just as a reminder, we're envisioning a multi-use auditorium right in the heart of the building with a stage, a vocal theater room, a scene shop. This little blue dot I failed to mention, we're thinking about, we haven't talked to you, but just about an impromptu stage in the student dining room. How cool that would be to just whatever, right? Thumbs up, whatever, right? So that's part of the performing arts too. A new band room here, and then even just think creatively about that multi-use room. We've done gymnasiums when we designed the Trent Arena. It first opened, Leanne Rimes came in and did a concert in there, and it was incredible. So there's a lot on the performing arts you can even do in here. We'd love to hear about it. Makeup dressing rooms, drama storage, any of that, please go back to the performing arts group and talk to Dana. Up next is PE. So as a reminder, in the existing building in AUGS gym mode with bleachers seats retracted, we have an auxiliary gym. We have some PE storage, some coaches' offices, and a shower. We have a new main gym with a dividing curtain, concessions, PE storage, 2 locker rooms, training room, and a multi-purpose athletic center. So anything around that you want to weigh in on for improvements, go to Group 5 with Danette. On food service, are you interested in kitchen, cooking, food, preparation? Do you want to get into the gas versus electric equipment discussion? Fume hoods, are we warewashing? Are we, we're not throwing away our trays, right? We're washing them. And so anything around that, if that speaks to you, go back into group number 6. And this will be a new kitchen that'll be in the renovated space with a new serving area, a new student dining room with direct access to the outdoors is how we're envisioning that today. Next up on the library, Luke is going to facilitate this right over here in group 7. Right now, we come in, this is a go-through space that's kind of to be designed, but kind of merged with student dining, which I think provides some interesting opportunities for that space. Soft seating, tables and chairs, bookshelves, impromptu stage might be cool in the library, right, Eli, maybe? Media specialist office, a document workroom, a room here for your esports and computers and things like that, because not everything, right, can be out in the open. And then how does this space kind of work and feel, and is it nice to be able to go outside? So any diving or input into library, please go to group 7. Those are 7 groups, and here in a minute, and you can put the lights up now. Thank you, Jeff. Who's got the time?
You're right on time.
Is it 7:30? Awesome. Okay. 7:30 to 7:45, you can go to your session 1. You get to pick, right? And we're going to have time for you to go to 3 sessions. So pick your top 3, and we'll do a whistle stop. You question? Yes?
What if you have questions that maybe first don't follow you?
So if you have a question that does not fall into any of those groups, come to my group. Or stay after. But yeah, come to my group. So we'll do session 1, we'll do a whistle break, split and go to any other group that you would like for 15 minutes, split and go to the last group for 15 minutes. At the end, each facilitator will come and just share a couple minutes of what they heard from your group. And then also, I'm not sure, Jeff, when you're going to kick us out, but we're here afterwards, after these, as we're cleaning up. If there's other things you want to talk about, anything you want us to hear, please come do so. So with that, find your way to session 1.